everybody, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel, and we're doing a new thing today where I'm actually focusing on artists that are a little bit more well-known, but it's because they have a new music video, and it's supposed to be super creative because there's always are, so I really want to check it out. First things first, I chapter all my videos, so if you don't want to listen to me ramble at the beginning, you can jump straight to the music. Just check out that scroll bottom down at the bottom. Scroll button down at the bottom. There you go. You know, always thank you so much for supporting the channel with commenting on things you think I should listen to next, and, you know, for sharing it with other people that you think will enjoy it. I really appreciate it. Today, I wanted to check out OK Go. So if you don't know this band, you're missing out because they do the most amazing music videos. The first one they did that I saw was where they did like a whole dance routine on moving treadmills, which was awesome. And then they did one on that's like, what do they call those machines that kind of like do everything for themselves? Like you hit one thing and it makes all these other things happen to achieve something at the end. I don't know. Goldfarb, is that what they're called? I think they're called Rube Goldberg machines. That's what they're called. I don't know where Goldfarb came from. Anyway, they did one for that and it was awesome. So they really have a lot of fun with their music videos, and it usually takes them a long time to do them because it takes a lot of coordination. And so they just put out a new one not too long ago. I think it was literally in the last couple of days. Let me see. Yeah, 3 days ago they put this out. So I'm pretty excited to see it here. I'll put it on the screen for you guys. There you go. So it's called A Stone Only Rolls Downhill. Now, I haven't seen this. Excuse me. I don't know what to expect, but I'm telling you, it's going to be cool. And I get really into kind of the fun of how they do this stuff and try to figure out how they make it all work. Like the treadmills took some real timing. The Rube Goldberg machine was insane, and how they decided to move the cameras was just nuts. So I kind of love to nerd out over the film production aspect of it, but I don't know what to expect on this one, so let's experience it together, right? Okay, let's jump right in. And also, let me know in the comments, do you want me to, I mean, even though I've seen them, we can go over them together. If you want me to go back and watch the other ones for the channel, let me know. Hopefully this doesn't get, you know, struck because they're a much more well-known artist and not independent like Ren. Because I have been having trouble with that lately. Like, if you guys enjoyed the Emily Galavez, I will not be doing those anymore because those guys were like, we don't care that it's fair use. Don't ever put it on your channel. Like they were pretty mean about it. So I'm trying to stay away from that stuff on my channel because I don't want it to turn into like, you know, a big issue. And if you get too many strikes, you lose your channel. And I love doing this with you guys. So, all right, let's jump right into this. This is OK Go, A Stone Only Rolls Downhill official video. What do you got, guys? Wait.
I wish I could say it would all.
Don't you dare.
Be alright.
It'll all be alright.
I wish I could tell you.
Oh, come on.
All be fine.
It'll all be just
How do they do that? Like, the play button has to be superimposed, right? Because timing it out, I feel like would be impossible. I'm trying to dissect it too much. Hold on. Let's see how the problem with these guys is they start small and then they go super big. So this is probably going to get crazy.
But a stone only rolls downhill. These things, they'll be what they will, what they will.
What? What? Like the other crazy thing is here is that they're knowing to zoom in on. How are they doing this? Wait. Wait, I was just about to say I know how they're doing it, and I already proved myself wrong. Unless it's Bluetooth. I was going to say maybe they're just using these as monitors. And so it's not the actual phones playing like they suggested at the beginning. Maybe that part was, but then this part is actual monitors that they have connected to through Bluetooth. But man, the lag would be so dangerous. Because the reason I ruled it out was because the cords aren't set up. Normally you need like to have a direct line in. Otherwise the lag will throw you off, like the Bluetooth lag. But this is, if they're saying they timed this out for every single thing, that must have taken months, not even hours, months to figure that out. Because they would have had to map everything. That's crazy.
Your heart worn out. I'm trying to make sense of the art.
Wow.
Which only bends one way. And you rightly afraid it don't seem to be the way that we thought. And I wish I could say it would all be alright.
It'll all be alright.
Wait. I just figured something else out though. Wait, what? Okay, wait. They just went to multiple phones and I'm freaking out. But for this part, before they went to the phones, like this, just this part right here, I think I figured something out. As long as they're shooting in 4K, this can all be done in edit. So yes, they have to time out the videos, but they can time out the videos in an edit bay. Because think of his face, right? So if his face that's about to take up the whole middle here,
And I wish I could say
like that, they didn't shoot that 6 different times. They shot it one time, and they just had the editor make the video inside the one phone focus on that eye, and then the second one on the bridge of his nose to make, and the corners of the eyes, and then the third one, you know, to the other eye, and then the mouth in the middle, and then the like 2 cheeks on the side. So they did that by zooming in and cropping it that way, all from the same video, and then lined it up so that it's all in sync. That's how you're making sure that things all match up. That had to be how they did it. It had to be. They did that in post. They didn't shoot this. Well, I'm saying they didn't shoot him 6 times doing 6 different versions of this and then try to match it up. It would have been impossible. It would have taken them forever. And I'll go as far as to say if they did do it that way, it was dumb to do it that way, because this is what I just described is a much easier way to do it. But now, and also it would have made it easier for the timing, right? Because you can back time. If you're like, I need all 6 of these phones to land right here at this moment, well, then in front, you just mark that moment in your edit, and then everything you do before then doesn't matter as long as they all match at that moment. So you can have them all come together at that moment. So you can do this in layers and edit. Like I could have figured this out, but now they're about to use multiple phones, and I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm lost now. I'm gonna have to figure that out next. Play it in one phone.
I wish I could tell you.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Be fine,
It'll all be just fine.
but the stone only rose.
That's a cool effect.
These things, they'll be
Bro.
what they will. Oh, the inertia.
So that means if this is all real, that phone that his head is in right here in this shot is what we've been watching everything that came before this on. So in production, they had to plan this. They had to plan this backwards. They had to say, okay, here's what we want everything to be. This is how we want it to look and everything else. And then they said, okay, when I get to 356, which is the end of the video, which is probably more like 350 is probably like the last note, right? When we get to 350, we need to be here, right here. And so I'll do it here so you can see it. We need to be here. So we need to time back, probably blocking the mic though, but we need to be here and we need to time back to here for the shot before that. And then we need to time back to here for the shot before that. Okay, for that shot, we want it to be his head amongst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 42 phones. So we want his head to be in the fourth column, fourth phone down of 42 phones, all landscape mode, getting ready to hit play so we can do this thing. And so because we want everything to be there, we need that phone to land here. And everything that happened before that is going to go in that phone. So they actually had to branch their production outlook to, I would call it like before phone or before grid phone and after, or four, I'd probably call it 44 because it's 4 over and 4 down. So I'd be like pre-44, pre-44, which is everything that happened inside that phone, and then post-44, which is everything that happened from here till the end of the song, if that makes sense. I hope you guys like nerding out on the production stuff and me dissecting this, because I can't help it on a thing like this, and I knew this is what this was going to be like, because that's what these guys are like, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? This is what you're here for, hopefully. What a cool premise. So I'm not going to watch all of them again. I'll run it back one time, but I bet you if we sat here for a while and looked at it, I think some of the phones are going to be the same. He didn't record this 41 times, him walking up to the thing, the guy in the yellow hat who's walking up with the phone. You'll notice they're slightly different. So I don't think any of the ones around each other actually touch, but I'll bet you that some of them are the same. I wonder if we can spot it here with the hands. Like, is there anyone where he's peering through or on the side? Because like that one in the upper right, he's peering through 2 of the hands. And that would be the way to do it. Maybe they, dude, if they did, that's insane. There's another way that they can do it, which is they can like look at the one in the upper right and look at the one in the upper left. Now they're very close to each other, right? But they're not the same. But there may be a moment in the video on the upper right that it has that look of the upper left. We're just not seeing it at the same time. So if they just slide something, there's 29.97 frames per second in video. That's what our eye sees. When you're watching TV, that's how it works. You can round it up to 30 frames per second, but it's truly 29.97 frames. So every second of video you see is actually nearly 30 frames, one right after another, and that makes it look smooth to our eye. Our eye is tricked into seeing that as video. That's what video is. So if they just slide, you know, the one on the right 20 frames so that it's different from the one on the left, they can be the same video and it'll seem like they're different because your eye won't be able to tell, especially when they're that far apart. I'll bet that's how they did that too, because otherwise they would have had to shoot 41 different versions of this. And that seems excessive. And actually, yeah, because like, look at the one, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you go 26, so 2 over 6 down, and then where was the other one I saw? Just like, yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you go 4, 7. Those look like they're only about 6 to 8 frames off of each other. So I'm telling you, I think that they probably did that. They probably, it's called sliding when you're editing. They probably slid the video a certain number of frames or a random number of frames each time. It would have to be more than 5, otherwise it would look glitchy. But they probably slid a few frames, and that's how they were able to get away with probably only shooting this 4 times instead of shooting it 41 times. That's all the information you didn't ask for.
I wish I could say it would all be
I kind of dig the song too.
I'll be alright.
I wish I could tell you it would all
Yeah,
be fine.
It'll all be just fine.
Oh, how I wish that I could tell you it would be
yeah, I'm
alright.
catching it.
Could tell you.
Like I'm catching it on these other phones, like 2.2, 2.4, and 2.6. They're all just a certain number of frames off from each other because I've caught the echo. It's called an echo. You can probably figure out why. So that's definitely what they're doing, which is a really smart way to do it because only people that work in film and that have cut enough things and like have shot enough things are going to be like, okay, how did they do this? And really sit down and figure it out and still appreciate the work that went into this because this looks dope. You have to admit this is pretty dope.
It'll all be fine. It'll work out. Oh, how I wish I could tell you it'll all be fine.
It'll all be just fine.
Oh, how I wish that I could tell you.
Oh, with the sliding phones, that's so cool. Now it looks like it's the short phones, the way they fit the grid, like this.
It'll all be just fine.
It'll all be just fine.
Wow. Guys, that was pretty cool. Did you see what I was talking about? Yeah, of course, because of all their efforts. Let's see. Maybe there was like, yo, maybe they really did shoot. I mean, OK Go is the type of band that would be like, nope, we're going to shoot every single one different. We don't care how many times we have to do it. They would. I think I gave you a pretty good workaround of how not to do that, though. Everything I said, I think, is legitimate. Or is PJO members, did they mean like, oh, that's just what people, like people who donated to help make this happen, not people who actually worked on it? Because what I suggested is a really viable way for them to have done that music video. Also, that part where they slid the phones so that you were getting half of the top of one and the bottom of another and coordinated it that way too, it's just splitting the box. So it's just a more complicated edit of the video of that one shot and placing it so it's just a little askew. It's just a little off, or maybe that's where they could have done like 1 or 2 frames or 2 or 3 frames, and it would make it seem like it was a different shot, even though it was the same shot, as long as they varied enough, as long as they did like, they probably did like 4 or 5 versions, and that's what they did, and cut them all together that way. It's still pretty dope. Like if you have, you know, the upper left hand corner of a hat, and you know, in this side of take 1, and then the upper right hand side of the hat from take 4, they're not going to match perfectly, but they'll be close enough. And so you can use it that way and with less takes. I'm just saying I don't think they did like over 40 takes of it. But if there's like a behind the scenes and they did, that's insane. Especially because I think I just gave you a solve so that they wouldn't have to do that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed me nerding out over that. Like I said, I really get into how some of these things are made. And we haven't done a good like production nerd out in a while of how, I think the last one we did was like Diana Ankontonova. So I always love seeing when people can be creative with videos. And if there's an artist where you're like, yo, you're not going to believe how creative this music video is. And plus, you know, hopefully the music's good too. Drop it in the comments and I'll check it out. Cause I love, you know, geeking out, nerding out on that kind of stuff. It definitely, as you can tell, I get all excited about it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that your week is off to a good start. And that's really it. I don't even know what song I'm doing tomorrow, so I can't even tease you or promote it because I think I'm just going to decide on a whim. Yesterday's song and today's song were done on a whim because one was just because I thought it looked cool when I heard about it, not that I had seen it. And then this one because OK Go never disappoints. And let me know if you want me to go back, even though it won't be a first time reaction. We could go back and watch the earlier ones together if you've never seen them. That could be fun. Thank you guys so much for joining. You know I appreciate you. And remember, don't wait for life to be easy to be happy.